Hello YouTube artist, I'm Kelly Hernig and welcome to In the Studio. I've been going through my sketchbook, the one that I'm doing weekly, and I'm noticing some stiffness happening again. Like I'm getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And so I went to my bookshelf to kind of see if I could find books that looked like movement in color and design. And I'm going to be sharing those 3 books with you today. I'm going to give you a couple instances in my sketchbook, then we're going to look at how I can move forward and include more movement and some looseness, because I don't want to become tight, right? I left that. I want to become looser and more playful in my watercolors. That's the whole reason for being in this great water medium. So let me flip this camera around and we'll take a look inside the sketchbook and the 3 books that I'm recommending. We're going to take a look inside my sketchbook first so that I can show you what I'm seeing as far as me getting tighter and tighter. And then we're going to look at this pile of books. There's 3 books here that have really got me intrigued by movement. So we'll get into that. This sketchbook I'm working in every day, and it's become almost like a week on a page. I was really happy the way it started. I've got a lot of movement, a lot of things are angular. I'm liking the way that it looks. It's starting to come together really nicely. I like some pages like this that are nice and full. This is one of my favorite pages. I think because I start high and it kind of goes down low and then it goes like that. It's a nice design. It's a nice page spread because look at all the white space here, but then I've got white space here and here. This is what I want to get back to. This page I like because it's got kind of an upsweep and then it's got this and the direction of the arrow here. Again, this has white space down here and then a little up and down. And I think this is the key to me is I like that it's off kilter, right? It feels very full here, but then I've got all this airspace here. I like this one, but again, it's very straightforward and I want to try to get away from that. This page I like because of the ups and downs, but I also like the little strings that I've added. So I've got a little string here, I've got a piece of fabric in the background. I like those kind of elements. For me, if I can create a tangle, like I consider that a tangle on my page, I'm really more intrigued by that. And it makes me a little more curious into what's happening on the page. This page I liked a lot. It's very full, but I like that it's heavier on this side because of that dark green box here. And then it's fairly large, but it's light, so it doesn't really gain your attention like this does. I mean, these 2 things are the definite what I want you to look at. Again, I like this page because of the little string here, but I also like the way the branch goes in and out from behind that little card. This page I really, really love. However, I want you to look how straight it is. It's straight, straight, straight. I like the little string again that I have back here, and this is a yo-yo, so I like the string here. But I could have done so much more with this yo-yo, right? I could have had it like walking the dog where the yo-yo, the string is here, but then the yo-yo is way out here, either going forward or backward. And I think I like this page because of the color. It's just really beautifully laid out. I've got a lot of white space here. In fact, I've only got 3 little things on this page, but this page is packed with little things. So this is what I mean. I want to look for something looser. To me, I'm getting stiffer and tighter, and I don't want that with watercolor. I had that with acrylic and I had that with colored pencil. So let me share the books that I'm going to look through with you. The first one is Birds in Watercolor, Collage and Ink by Janine Zlatkis. Pull up that name there. What I liked about this is she's taking pictures of her own work. So she's taking pictures outdoors and then using them inside of her work. And I take a ton of pictures. I've probably got tens of thousands of photos. And I like that she was out hunting for her own inspiration in her yard or in her area. And then she brought it in, you can see, and photographed it. And I really like the idea of this, is creating your own inspiration. So you could do this on Pinterest if you don't have a lot of photos, but I have a lot of photos. So what I'm going to start doing is curating. I'm going to go through some of my folders. I'm going to pull out interesting bits. And there's one picture in particular here that I really, really love that she had. Let me see if I can find it. It's this one. I want you to look at that tendril. Isn't that beautiful? So that's what I mean by movement. I've got this stiffness in the branch here, but then she's got that little swirl up there. Just that little bit makes it more movable, makes it more animated. For me, makes it more interesting because I'm like, what is that? What caused that? What is she doing? So I thought that that was really a really great page here. I want to show you like what she's done. She's not taking her pictures exactly what they are. However, she's taking the shape of them, but she's morphing them into her own colors. And I really like the idea of that. I love the way she handled the leaves here, like a dark side and a light side. I like the stem here where she's got little dashes. I just thought that's really, really nice. She has one in here. Look at these. These are from cactus. I like that she had a light side and a dark side. So I never think to do that. I never think to transport it to how I see it, but then also imagine what it would look like at night or day, vice versa, right? But I like the idea that you get two different ways here. And for me, I like them both for different reasons. I like the way the white is kind of soft against the cactus, but it gives it a little more interest. But then you go to the dark side and look how the colors really pop up. And I think that that really can do a lot for your painting as far as intensity and gaining your attention, right? The bird definitely gains your attention here. It does here as well, but which one are you drawn to? That's what we have to decide. So this book is just full of little ideas like that. You can see she's taken the dandelion here and really exaggerated their form, and I am drawn in by that because my stuff is so stiff. Like I would have dandelions straight up and down, right? I wouldn't have them all curved. I wouldn't have them crossing over. So that's giving me things to look at and consider. I even like the position of the bird, that it's looking down. My birds are usually just sitting upwards and straight and tall instead of engaging with the whole piece of art. So this is a really great book for that. In the back here, she shares some ideas. Look at this page. I mean, again, look at how beautiful the movement is here. She's got all kinds of different plants. I like her treatment. Some have lines, some have dots, some have dashes. And then she's got the bird just walking around down there. I think it's a very successful page, and it kind of reminds me of a cyanotype where it's just the blue and the white, but then she's got this interest down here. She's got some line drawings in here, and that's probably where I'm going to start. I mean, look what she did. So this was her reference photo. Look how she's taking the pictures. This is what I need to do. I need to go back to kind of the abstract book that I worked on, and I need to take my photos and abstract them out so that it's not a perfect rendition of what I'm seeing. So that was Birds and Watercolor Collage and Ink. The next book is England is a Garden. And this is an older book, and you'll see in this one I like it for a different reason. I like it for its color. I like it for its softness because I am a soft painter and I don't really go to dark and light. This is more medium value, and that's kind of how I enjoy painting. But I want you to notice the movement here of the leaves, of the flowers. Where are you looking first? Look at the beautiful daffodils here. I like the idea of the black and white with the color. I think I'm going to start a sketchbook with that. But for this too, I want you to see, look at this beautiful page here. Look at the movement. It's soft, it's delicate, it's very feminine, but look, she's got these tangles here and here, here, here. It's almost like a clematis plant. But look what the green does. It kind of grounds everything, right? It gains your attention because it's the darkest and the lightest. That's usually where you go first. But once you're here and you're checking everything out, then you're looking at all of the blooms going, wow, are those beautiful? If I could paint a page like this, I would be totally thrilled with myself and just be like, yes, that's the way I want to go. So you can see the difference of this book and the first book. The first book was more graphically inclined, where this is more painterly, but it's softer, and to me it's more feminine. It's just beautiful to look at. I mean, even the pansies here, you know, I probably would have done that to make them all nice and straight, but then she's got these wild pieces here, and to me that just makes it more glorious. It makes it more energetic, and that's what I need to start bringing into my work. You can see here, look at all these little buds, but look at the branches out here. They're all out. I love the heaviness down here, which is where she wants your eye to go. But then you start discovering all these little pieces, and I really, really like that a lot. So this whole book is just filled with beauty, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it is just graceful beauty that has me wondering how I can incorporate stuff like this into my sketchbook. I mean, look at this bramble here of the grapevine. Is it not gorgeous? So this was England is a Garden. I will have all of these books listed down below in the video description box. My third and final book is Plants and Places by Angie Lewin. Now this book is taking things more to the abstract side, which I really, really like. I mean, just look at the cover. I mean, look at how she's treated the trees. They're interesting. Look at how she's got color somewhere. She's got a lot of ink. And I just really like the variation of things. I mean, look at that. I instantly think of a dandelion or a lollipop. This is thistle. This is the real thing. This is what I would try to make it look like. Look what she did with it. Is that not a gorgeous representation of thistle? I know, right? I love the treatment up here. I love how she's made those more curly and more wispy like. Look at the way she treated the stems and a little bit of the background. This I'm envisioning as wind, but isn't it gorgeous? I mean, going from this, which is so stiff, to this is what I mean trying to add movement inside of my sketchbook. This whole book is like that. It's just one gorgeous picture after another. Here's another thing of thistles, which I love. Look at this energetic piece. I mean, where do you look first, right? Of course you look here because it's the darkest and the lightest and the biggest. But look at all those textures going on. The way she chooses to do some of these things are just amazing. This is just colored pencil. And I want you to look at the movement. I'm going to bring you up here so you can really see what that corner looks like. Do you see the difference in the treatment of those? I love the ones that are barely there with just the shadow, but then look at the beautiful colors that she's got on that other one. This is what I mean by loosening up. She does great little posters. I love the way she handled the Queen Anne's lace here. I just think it's really marvelous that it's got those white behind it, but then it's got those little star-like things for the flowers. Again, this is her samples, right? Look at the rocks here. And then look what she did with it here. Yes, I need to channel Angie Lewis for sure. Here's a study of just trying to loosen it up. And that's what I might even do in my book here, is try to simplify using little things like this and get a little bolder and adding patterns. Look how she added the feather in there. I just really like everything about this book. It's totally not the look that I love. It's the idea of making things abstract to the point where you know what they are, but yet you are really looking at them trying to figure out, is that what I'm seeing? Am I seeing Queen Anne's lace there? So it's kind of like a hidden hunt and gather kind of thing where you're looking at the clues and trying to figure it out. Let me skip forward back here. And you can see, I mean, look at this color. Isn't that beautiful? I'm picturing these as alliums, which are giant onions. I just really love the way that those look. She's got a poppy pod drawn in here really lightly with pencil. Do you see that? Look how beautiful that is. I think her lines of ink, color, and pencil are what are really making me just swoon. And I'm trying to envision my sketchbook in a style like this, and what would mine look like? That's what I'm asking myself. I mean, look at this daisy flower, how she's just done that. Kind of looks like a spider almost, but I love it. I'm just gonna kind of flip through so that you can see some more pictures. Oh, I love this color combination of the pink, the bright green, and the brown. I just really like that a lot. Look at the dandelions, amazing. Love that. Look at this one up close. Look how she handled those pods. They remind me of dandelion little pods. I really love that. I love the color. I love the graphicness of that. It would be a great advertisement. Look at that. Just simplifying shapes. The beauty here is so simplified that I need to remember that. Not everything has to have a ton of detail to be striking. This is at its simplest form, but it is so beautiful and so different from what I do. I think that's why I'm really, really drawn to this book. So this was Plants and Places. This one was England is a Garden. And the first one I shared was Birds in Watercolor, Collage and Ink. I hope I've shown you some quick ways to loosen up and create movement in various ways. I like the idea of using my own reference photos. I like the idea of nature simplified. I like the painterly style of the garden book because it's soft, it's feminine, but yet the tangles and twists are in there. All three of these create interest and movement in a different way, and that's what I need to study to make my sketchbook a little more alive and not so stiff and detailed. If you were inspired by the movement created in these books, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, please click the button. And as always, thanks so much for watching.